In this video, I'm going to talk to you about segments and rays. I'm also going to talk to you about opposite rays and then intersections of lines and planes and so forth. Okay, we're going to start with segments. If I have a line like this that goes on forever in both directions, and we're going to call this line AB. You recall that I'm going to call it line AB, and I'll put a line above it with two arrows going in either direction. So I can either call it line AB, I could also call it line BA, as long as I have those two arrows going on forever. However, the line segment in this is just this little part right in here that goes only from A to B, and this is called segment AB. And the way I write it is segment AB like that with just a line above it. There's no arrows, it's just segment AB. All right? I also could call it segment BA and just put a line above it. Okay? Now, what if I took that little segment right here, that AB segment that we had, I just take it out. Now there's the segment AB. Now, I can call those two dots, this little dot is called an end point. That's where it ends. And by the way, this little dot is also called an end point. So when I have a ray, I have two end points. Now, but on a ray, one of the lines continues forever. So I'm going to put an arrow like that. And so this little ray is called ray. Of course, you never write ray like this. It's called ray AB, and it starts on A and it goes forever. You see that? A is the end point. Now, what if I would erase this little part? Let me erase this so you can see what I'm doing here a little bit. All right, so now, instead, I'm going to make it go like this. Now I'm going to call that, this is now the end point, B is the end point, or the starting point, whatever you want to call it, the end point. And now I'm going to call this ray BA. And I'm going to start at B, and I'm going forever on the opposite direction. So I have two ways of calling that. Now, suppose we have a line that looks like this. All right, we have a line, and we can call it line AB or BA. We could call it line CB. We could call it any of those letters. But the letter C is between A and B. Well, now we have two rays. I have a ray that's going to start from C and go this way, or I have a ray that will start on C and go this way. Okay, so they're two different rays, and they're called opposite rays. Opposite rays, and I'll show you how we call it. Let's look at the green one. The green one starts at C and goes on forever. Let's call it CB, so we're going to call it ray CB, and it starts on C and goes on forever. The other one, the yellow one, is ray CA. Again, it starts at C and it goes on forever with A. These are called opposite rays. They're going in the opposite directions. Opposite directions, okay? Finally, we have the definition of intersection. You know, when you drive a car, you come to an intersection. That means four roads are coming together. Or two roads, depending on how you're looking at it. Two roads are coming together. As a matter of fact, let's do that. So we have a north and south going road that goes like this. Then we have an east and west going road that goes like this. And where do they intersect? They intersect right there at a point. So the intersection of two lines is a point. All right? Now, the next one I will show you, it's the intersection of two planes. So I have a picture here of two planes that are intersecting. And I don't know if you can tell, but they intersect right here at line M. So the intersection of two planes is a line. Now guys, you have to know this. This will be a quiz question. What do we call the intersection of two lines? It's a point. What do we call the intersection of two planes? It's a line.